The Alpha 1 Lightwave amp by BeamerTech, your solution for the need of better audio for early model BMWs with Harman Kardon, Hi-Fi Professional DSP, and individual audio. You saw us install this amp on an X5, and now you get to see us install it on this F80. For the longest time, BMW owners have either been stuck with their Harman Kardon head units or trying to piece together random parts of equipment and hoping for the best. Recently, we took care of you BMW owners with MGU head units, but now we have the rest of you covered with the Alpha 1 Lightwave amp by BeamerTech. Well, head on over to our website to make sure it's compatible.
Harman Kardon, Hi-Fi Professional DSP, and individual audio are all powered by a variation of Harman Kardon's 9-channel OEM amplifier with an optical input like this one. Our Lightwave amp is specifically designed for these systems.
Today we'll be installing this amp in this F80, but the process is similar for other BMWs as well. But before we get to that, let's learn some quick facts about this amp in 3, 2, 1, go!
This amp is specifically for high-end optical audio systems like Harman Kardon, Hi-Fi Professional DSP, and individual audio, also known as enhanced premium sound in North America. It has a total output of 2300 watts max, which is nearly 4 times as much as the 600 watt stock Harman Kardon amp. The amp features 9 speaker-level output channels, including one 800-watt channel that can power a passive trunk sub, or the center channel. There is also a 10th DSP-controlled RCA pre-out for driving a separate trunk sub if you want to keep the center channel running and still have a trunk sub.
You have full control over the settings on this amp for complete customization and tuning. However, you also retain full control over the audio settings in your iDrive system for quick on-the-fly changes. Now, you could also change between 2 different DSP tuning files simply by switching on and off the Logic 7 surround toggle. And yes, this amp still comes pre-tuned for your ears, your music, and your specific model BMW, just like all of our amps. For a full list of all the features, head on over to our website, link in the description. Also, head on over to our website to enter your VIN to make sure that this amp is compatible for your BMW. Now, if you want to install this yourself, you can easily do that with our BeamerTech DIY Essentials Kit and Trim Tool Kit. Both are available on our website. However, if you don't feel comfortable installing it yourself, that's fine too. You could find one of our certified installers near you. We have them in about 30 countries around the world. And don't forget that if you are in the Orlando, Florida area, well then stop on by and we could do it for you. But without further ado, let's get this amp installed in this F80. Jarrett, take it away.
The first thing we need to do is disconnect the battery. Start by opening the trunk. Rotate the lock on this side panel and remove the panel. With a 10mm socket, remove the negative battery terminal and set it aside. Next, the floor panel. Lift it up and remove it. To remove the trunk insert, remove the fastener here with a BeamerTech trim tool. This one fastener will be tricky, but the rest will be cake. Once removed, take out the insert. After that, remove the 4 fasteners holding the rear trim in place. Once out, remove it. You may need to pull up the weather stripping. Now for this panel. Start by using a trim tool to carefully remove this plastic cover holding the cargo tie down. Remove the T40 screw holding it down and remove it. With the trim tool, remove all of the fasteners holding the panel in place. For the last one, you'll want to lower the rear seat. Remove, then unplug this outlet here like so. Lift up and remove the cargo tray. Once everything is out of the way, lift up and remove the side panel. Be mindful of the weather stripping and deck lid hinge. Remove the 10mm nut holding this plastic piece in place and remove it. Now we need to disconnect the weak factory Harman Kardon amp. Start by pinching and pulling all of the connectors that are connected to it. For the main plug, you need to slide the clip to one side to unlock it, then you can pull it out. With a trim tool, pop the harness off the amp bracket. For the ASD connector, press in the center tab, rotate the arm, and remove it. Finally, remove the 10mm nut holding the bracket to the car. Once off, slide the bracket up and out to remove it. Now the Lightwave amp. We easily attach the amp to the Alpha 1 bracket, but your amp will already come with the bracket on it. If you're watching this and don't have an F80 or F30, please check our website for more details. Grab the factory amp and bracket and remove the 8mm bolt holding the factory amp to the bracket. Remove the amp. Take the Lightwave amp and harness. Press in the center tab of the harness to rotate the arm to make sure it's unlocked. Connect it to the amp like so, and rotate the arm to lock it into place. Now take the Lightwave amp and bracket assembly. Place it onto the factory bracket, push it down, and use the 8mm bolt to secure it. Remove this gray protector for later, and while here, insert the provided USB cable, and we're done with this part. Back at the car, we need to transfer the fiber optic cable. Cut back some of the tape holding the green fiber optic cable to this harness. Then use the pick tool to gently lift up this tab and remove the connector. Snap it into the Alpha 1 connector provided. If you want, use a cable tie to secure the old harness section out of the way. Take the amp and bracket assembly and slide it into place where you removed it from. Reinstall the 10mm nut. Plug back in the ASD harness. Make sure the arm is in the unlocked position, then place it in, rotate the arm, and it will pull itself down. Push the harness back into place on the factory bracket. Plug in the fiber optic cable into the Lightwave amp like so. Finally, the main connector. Make sure the slide is in the open position. Line up the tabs on both connectors, then push them together, and push the slide closed, and it will pull the connector together. Let's ground the system. Locate this 10mm nut here and remove it. Slide the ground connector over the stud and replace the 10mm nut. Use some cable ties to make it look all pretty. We'll worry about plugging it in later. Finally, the power. Jarrett decided to be a little extra and fed it through the rear bumper with 2 large cable ties, but you can simply tape the cable to the floor of the trunk. Anyway, for the Jarrett method, start by feeding the cable tie abomination behind this trim panel, behind this metal, and pull it through. Take the end of the power cable that goes to the amp and tape it to this side of the cable tie. Carefully pull it through. Let's connect it to the battery. Pop open this cover and remove this 10mm nut. Run the cable behind the battery and place the positive cable over the stud like so, and reinstall the nut. Back at the amp, plug in the positive cable and then the negative cable. Make sure to plug them in all the way. The connection is tight. Now start putting everything back together. Place this plastic piece back and reinstall the 10mm nut. Next, the side panel and all of the fasteners. Make sure the weather stripping is over it and the 2 pieces behind the hinge are locked together. Don't forget the 12-volt plug like Jarrett did. Plug that back in and place the plug back in its cutout. Reinstall the cargo tie down. Finally, for this section, put the cargo tray floor back in. Reinstall the rear trim panel. A trim tool can help get the weather stripping back over it. Replace all 4 fasteners. Replace the trunk insert and 1 fastener. Reconnect the battery and replace the side pocket like so. Finally, put the floor panel back and you're done.
Done, easy, and the results are insane. Let's take a listen. All right, so we are in the F80 with Jorge. Jorge, this is your F80, correct?
This is my fantastic F80.
All right, so you daily drive this car, so you know what it sounded like before, correct?
I did.
So what was your biggest complaint about Harman Kardon?
All of it.
All of it?
All of it.
Fair enough.
My biggest complaint is, at high decibels, it didn't perform. It couldn't hang with the highs or, lay with the lows. It was just all over the place, muddy, sloppy.
All right.
Just wasn't it.
Well, do you want to see if Alpha 1 can do any better?
I'm hoping it can. I truly hope it can.
Chaz was doing something weird. He does that a lot.
Yeah, I was I can already feel a little more submersed into the music. Is here. Oh! Okay. Yeah, I can live with this. Yeah. This is different. Sounds different.
Right. Got those crisp highs, got the lows hitting you.
It is. And I can hear the instruments around me as opposed to, next to me.
So what do you think?
This is great. This is great? Quality. This is a high-end system.
Is this the amp to get for Harman Kardon cars?
I just can't believe that this is just an amp. Can we turn that back up?
Go for it. It's your car, man. Rock it.
Woo! Oh, mix is nice too, right? Yeah.
So there you go, guys. That is the Lightwave amp in this F80. Jorge approves.
Wow. What a machine.
So there you have it. If you want the best audio experience in your high-end optical audio system equipped BMW, then you need the new Alpha 1 Lightwave amp by BeamerTech. And for an even better experience, you're gonna want to pair it with our Alpha 1 speakers as well. For more tips and tricks, product reviews, and so much more for BMW's Minis and Supras, make sure you subscribe and don't forget to ring that bell. And hey, check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok as well. Thanks for watching.